How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Adrock, and I'm back with the QueueTimes Heads Up video for Battlerite. So, Heads Up is not a review of a game or sponsorship of the game itself. It's often just personal thoughts I have about games that I've been playing and have enjoyed that I would like to recommend to you and give you some thoughts and opinions on it for those that are interested. Battlerite is a team arena fighter developed by Stunlock Studios, who've also worked on Dead Island Epidemic, Bloodline Champions, and Project O. In fact, Battlerite is a spiritual successor slash sequel slash little brother to Bloodline Champions' more brooding and somewhat complicated older brother-esque stuff. While many praise Bloodline Champions and it seemed to have passed over Dead Island Epidemic, it seems that both games honestly were just a stepping stone to Battlerite. In fact, if you hear me compare Bloodline Champions to Battlerite anytime in this video, it's mostly because a fair amount of the latter was inspired by the former. So right off the bat, Battlerite sticks to a more modern, cleaner UI that's easy to navigate and familiar to anyone who's played a MOBA, a brawler, or a shooter. Not so much MMOs, but that's what this thing is, a brawler. You have the option to spend in-game currency and real-world currency on chests, which will give random cosmetic items. It's the standard now, it's the loot box, loot crate, loot matrix kind of thing. This is quickly becoming the standard for microtransactions and free-to-play games, as it cuts down on skin selling, trading, gambling, and offers a hook to keep players coming in if they really want that lime green Bako demon shield. You also have missions that pop up every so often. If you complete them, which are pretty easy right now as they seem to revolve mostly around playing the roster as much as possible, because it's early access, you get chests. Mission quests don't set the world on fire in these games, and I kind of wish that they were. I wish it was more specific things they had to do, like say 3v1 a team for 30 seconds in ranked or something like that. Yeah, it could be abused and cheesed, but often those can be really cool and they'll entice the player to try and force their skills to go to a certain limit and go past it. And Battlerite will definitely do that. Also, hey, I'm spitballing here, so I've got the conch, and if you want to make a suggestion, put it in the comments like the armchair devs we all are. Maybe I'll talk about it later on. The roster itself, they're full of champions. They're fun, they're chunky, they're bright, and they're immediately identifiable in the arena. Unlike Bloodline Champions, the classes were really generic, no-name representatives of the tribes. Battlerite's cast is given more life than depth, but the whole, north, south, east, west faction war seems superficial at the moment, and it doesn't really seem to be enough distinct visual cues and differences to really point out who's who and who's from where. But that's really neither here nor there, because it's not like the whole pull of this game. There's currently just enough visual and thematic distinction where the roster doesn't feel like it's a copycat in the bunch. Each champion has their own progression system and awards chests and other little bonuses that cap out at level 10. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of Battlerite, the gameplay. It's split into 2s, 3s, private AI, and training tutorial. Going into versus AI actually is not a bad idea in this game, as it helps you learn how each champion works, plus it can help you work on different scenarios like getting caught out or being the last man standing in a match, which will happen a lot in this game. Combat is frantic, it's quick thinking, it's fun, and it puts all your skills to the test. Everything is a skill shot, and mostly everything is cooldown based, so a good connection is going to be paramount to enjoying Battlerite. Luckily, on Stunlock's end, they've learned from Bloodline Champions and their netcode problems, so far I've maybe had 1 or 2 instances where I've had some serious lag issues, but when you have them, you're literally halfway across the stage and everyone else is fighting somewhere else and going, what the hell, man, where are you? You have 2 primary attacks, left and right mouse click, 2 normal abilities, a movement ability, a special ability, and an ultimate. Oh yeah, and EX abilities. They'll sound familiar to some of you. As you deal damage or pick up orange glowing orbs, you'll accumulate energy, and that can be used in one of 3 specific ways. It can use one of your 2 special abilities, use your ultimate, or, empower a normal ability to use its EX version, which gives it an extra twist beyond damage. Players and characters will have different amounts. Some will have 1 or 2 EX abilities, some might have their whole bar full of EX versions, and you can access them by holding shift currently on default, and then using the ability key as normal. Bloodline Champion players and fighting game community enthusiasts will understand this concept instantly, as it's almost a direct pull from fighting games like Street Fighter, where you have empowered versions of these moves. But MOBA and arena fighters will find this an odd and interesting curveball, and often it'll throw you off for a little bit at first if you're not used to that kind of mechanic. Should you use Jade's normal 2-second snipe to stun somebody, but maybe be too late on the trigger and get someone killed, or EX it to instant cast, but root them in place and allowing them to still attack? It makes you really have to think about it. So it's a little fun caveat. At the start of each round, players are allowed to pick from one of 3 Battlerites, which are essentially customization options to help you play the playstyle you want to play. It'll also help players adapt to unfavorable matchups and tough rounds. So it's not just like you're stuck, you throw it out there, you're good for 6 minutes and go have fun, and it sucks for you if you pick the wrong character or comp. Everything is situational, but unlike WoW Arena or Atlas Reactor, you don't have infinite time to make your choices, or even 20 seconds. Matches here are the first to 3, and they're 2 minutes each, almost like an MMA fight. However, when the clock runs out, the battleground starts to close in on everyone, dealing heavy damage to anyone still stuck in that Shadow Realm. This will force action and denies heavy turtling, making the end of each match a nail-biting climax instead of long, drawn-out conclusions. Every mistake you make here is on you, and it's harder to blame it on someone else. So this is not one of those games where, well, I guess if the tank didn't jump in here, like, no. If you moved somewhere you weren't supposed to, or you didn't use the right ability, or you decided you were going to go pick a fight with somebody, that's on you, buddy. This game will definitely reinforce those bad habits and knock them out of you, or it'll just exasperate and you'll just get frustrated and leave. It's really, that's how it works here. This is going to sound like there's a whole bunch going on visually, but Battlerite is super clean and actually much easier to read, unlike most of the contemporaries whenever they try to have some kind of esports or spectator mode. Status effects are clear as day, telegraphs are easy to read for spectators and players, and silhouettes and particle effects are just flashy enough but immediately recognizable, so everyone knows who is doing what and where it's coming from. This is a clearly wiser choice and an update from Bloodline Champions, which often felt immersive, but their backgrounds and abilities often muddied up each other and weren't so easy to discern. It also makes outside viewing easy to read, like I mentioned. If this is intentional for casting esports, then bravo. Between this and Atlas Reactor, Arena Esports might have hit a better standard, and they should. It doesn't matter who, take a look at these guys. I'm going to be super subjective here, like I just said in the beginning, because I had a ton of fun with Bloodline Champions in its heyday. I was talking about it on the Quarter Up and Slash Yell, and I was getting everybody into it, and in fact, I got Indigo and Krug into it, and we've been playing constantly. With a game like this, it all depends on the community. But so far, Battlerite is a superior iteration and hopefully has a bright future. I am a bit concerned about a few things though. Mostly roster bloating in these kind of games like League of Legends, Dota, Smite, Atlas Reactor, Battlerite. They can get to a point where new champions start to cannibalize kits from each other, and it ends up becoming homogenized, where you only really see a roster of 20 possible champions, maybe 25, out of an entire roster of 40 to 50 possible champions. Also, its difficulty curve is actually really steep. It's obvious. Everything is skill shots. You need a really good connection for it, and people can get really turned off real quick. On the bright side, it's super fast. So if you're willing to put in some work and be okay with getting stomped a lot really early and getting stomped hard, this is great, because when you pull off that win or that clutch combo or that life-saving play, it just tastes so sweet. Battlerite currently is in early access on Steam with a price tag if you want to play. It'll give you access to all the champions, as well as like some other things. Upon full release, it will be free to play though. So honestly, that's it for a heads up on Battlerite. My name is Adrock. As always, if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comments wherever you find this, on like Reddit or Twitter or YouTube. I'll try to read as much as I can and hopefully talk back to you guys about it. Until then, check me out on Twitter at AdrockDraws, on Twitch at AdrockDraws, and QueueTimes.com and YouTube.com/QueueTimes. Until then, I'll see you later. Peace.